So my third eye has started to open up more and more because my Kundalini is now transitioning from my throat chakra to my third eye. And I want to talk about some of the experience I've had so you can recognize when it happens to you if you're going through the Kundalini awakening. The first thing is that I sit a lot with my neck up and try to bring my attention to the throat chakra because right now is the time to heal it. And so I notice how there are different channels, right, in our body where the Kundalini moves through. So the central channel, it just goes through from the spine up straight. That's the central channel. Then when it comes up here to my throat, it starts moving like this in like a snake-like movement. And then what it does is, let's pretend this is a channel, right? So let's say this is a specific area where there's a blockage. So then it will tilt my head and I will have to sit in that position and put my attention on that specific knot, we could say, until it starts loosening up and I will feel it. Then it continues until it finds a different blockage somewhere else, tilts my head, and then I have to put my attention there so it releases that blockage. I'm going to show you an illustration I drew. Don't make fun of it. But yeah, let me show you. So then when it reaches my third eye, I can kind of feel pain. It does hurt, I'm not gonna lie. It's trying to nudge on that, on my third eye. I can also, I don't know if you guys can do it, but I can see the freaking snake. And it's usually just a serpent, but sometimes I see the damn cobra. And for someone who has had fear for snakes, it's extremely uncomfortable. I'm trying to make peace with it, but I can see it. Now to the crazy stuff. Doctors would say I'm hallucinating. So the other day I was looking up at the roof and I started to see it moving. It's white, but it has some patterns, and the patterns started to move. You know, the patterns when you're being hypnotized, then they come up like this and then they dissolve. So it was continuing to do that, and I was freaking out like, what is this? Another thing, and this has actually happened for a very long time. It actually happened the very first week after I, for the very first time, started meditating, which means that I've meditated for a very long time, I think, in my past lives, which is that when I turn off the lights, I can see the cosmos. I can see it like, let me show an illustration again. So I'm seeing all the particles, the frequencies, and that means that my conscious awareness has reached a higher dimension. Now, this is something very fascinating that happened quite recently. My apartment, it feels like it's moving. Like I can still feel that it's solid, right? But it's an illusion. So that we perceive it to be solid is only an illusion, yet our sensations feel like it's solid. But it feels like, although I'm sitting on something solid, it is moving. And the more I focus on it, the more it feels like that. So the more and more your third eye opens up, the more you realize that everything is literally frequency, that this is just a mirror, this is not a reality, and that we have the power to create. So now that my third eye has opened up more and more, I realize that I have literally manifested this, which I'm grateful for, but it's time to level up. So when you get to the third eye, it's like you realize that you have created everything and you now have the power to create whatever it is that you want, as long as you don't harm someone.